Of course, that BBI train has this evening experienced a hiccup, and we'll be telling you about that from the courts shortly. Now, back to Nairobi, where former Governor Mbuvi Sonko is set to know his fate tomorrow when a Kiambu court will rule on his bail application. But as Brian Obuya reports, even if he is released, Sonko might be seized almost immediately to answer to terror-related charges, along with 9 of his aides who were apprehended today.
Sonko, who the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has been investigating over claims of incitement to violence and undermining authority of a public officer, will be presented at the Kiambu Law Courts Tuesday. The court will decide whether or not to release the former governor on bail or to hold him further.
It is one thing to be charged in court, and it's another to be convicted. It will depend with the evidence. So aside from the political environment and the intrigues that are going on, the courts are courts of law. They will determine based on what has been placed before it, but not on the political environment or how good you are with the government or against the government.
The flamboyant politician, who has proved to be a thorn in the flesh of the powers that be, is also facing 3 corruption cases. Last week, he was charged at the Kiambu Law Courts with 9 counts of assault, contrary to Section 251 of the Penal Code. And now the prosecution wants to charge him with terror-related charges. But what lies ahead of the man who once led the city with opulence?
While this court might admit him to bail, that does not mean that it will also apply to the terror charges. He will have to take plea on those charges and then apply for bail.
Since his arrest on Monday, Sonko has been guarded round the clock by heavily armed officers from the anti-terror police unit. His visits have been restricted to only close family members and lawyers. However, the former governor was on Monday visited at the Gigiri police station by politicians led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Sonko has been at the police station for the past 1 week pending hearing of his application. The prosecution asked the court not to release Sonko, citing that Sonko has escaped from prison before and that he is a flight risk.
Sonko's 2 options now is just to sit and wait to see what the prosecution has. We might be saying he's going to be charged, and yet maybe that decision has already been changed.
And as the state plans to charge Sonko with terror, panic has greeted 9 of his close allies who have been arrested since and are set to be charged alongside the governor on Tuesday. Brian Obuya, KTN News.
Now to that story I'd earlier promised.